Let's talk 4 Vikings who can't be handed their starting job in 2023. Welcome back to Onebar and Lupagus show. I am Lupagus, and today we're going to talk about 4 Minnesota Vikings who cannot just be handed their starting jobs again in 2023. Before we get to that, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the vids. We are over 8,800, working to 8,900, on our way to 9,000 subscribers. Don't forget to drop hashtag badass in the comments and hashtag liftbridge to get entered into those drawings at the end of the month for some fabulous gift card from Liftbridge or a beautiful product from That's Badass Wood Art. And thank you to both of those sponsors. All right, so let's talk about 4 Vikings who can't be handed their starting job. Again, the Super Bowl just ended. We're in that little bit of a lull before free agency really gets kicked off. The draft is kind of, the combine's on the horizon. We're in a little bit of a lull time, but we're going to talk about 4 Vikings who cannot just be given their starting job. Let's start with how about the right guard, Ed Ingram? He started all 17 or 18 games if you count the playoff game for the Vikings. And my thing about Ed Ingram is just he never really turned the corner and consistently got better. His issue pretty much from week 1 to week 2 was just pass protection, and that was always a problem for this guy. Yes, he's a rookie. Yes, he still got tons of upside, but the fact that he just couldn't figure that aspect out of his game the whole entire year, a little bit concerning. I'm sure he'll probably end up starting again next year, but I want to bring him some competition, whether that's like a mid-round guard, a veteran you pick up. Someone should push Ed Ingram for his job. I mean, he's pretty good in run blocking. He's always looking for a body to hit. I love that about Ed. But, look at the times he stepped on Kirk Cousins' foot twice and tripped him. That's just unexcusable. I don't know how that happens once, let alone twice. And then just, getting beat, whether it's not understanding where the pressure's coming from, not being quick enough, not being strong enough to anchor. All those were issues for Ed. So I'm hoping he just goes nuts this offseason, really works on the playbook, works with his coaches, figures out his technique, gets better in that regard. But otherwise, I think bringing some competition for Ed is nothing but a good thing. Make him fight for that job and not just be handed it in year 2. Let's go to another one. Let's go to a cornerback, Cam Dantzler. Now, Cam's a little bit interesting just because he's been hurt so much. I mean, this guy's missed a lot of games in his career. He's had some very, very good moments, very, very good games, but he's also had games where he doesn't look so good. And right now, he's the old man on the Vikings cornerback depth chart. He is the veteran, so he will be in line to start, but he shouldn't just be handed that job. He's got a lot to prove still. He needs to be more consistent, needs to stay on the damn field. So you got him, Andrew Booth Jr., Caleb Evans, Duke Shelley hopefully comes back. Those are the guys should be competing for a spot. No one goes in with any kind of designation where you're going to be. Make it a wide open competition. We'll figure this thing out afterwards, but let these guys all battle out when you look at your cornerback position. There's probably going to be a high draft pick in there as well competing, whether that's a first rounder or a third rounder. So very good chance the Vikings go that route early. And who knows, maybe Patrick Peterson comes back too, and this is only really a concern for that number 2 spot. But Dantzler needs to compete for this job, needs to be pushed, needs to not just be handed this thing, because honestly, he hasn't done much to deserve it. So yes, he's great at Ohio in some games, but I want to see him stay healthy and see what he can do consistently in every game instead of being so up and down. So Dantzler, another guy who can't be handed a starting job. Let's go to the safety, Cam Bynum, a guy I was super, super excited about his first year in the league. He came out, I think it was the Ravens game. He just was making plays. It's like, holy shit, we got this playmaker on our team. And then this year, given a starting role, we're hoping to see more of the same, and just not really much happening from Cam Bynum. 81 tackles, 2 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, no sacks, no forced fumbles, no tackles for a loss, which tells you a lot of his plays are coming on the back end. To me, he was always the last guy on the pile, touching the guy down, or maybe making a tackle after there's already been a huge game. Could that be in result of how he was used and the coverage he was asked to play? Yeah, absolutely. But you got Lewisine coming back, and now with Brian Flores as a defensive coordinator, you got to think Harrison Smith's coming back. So Cam Bynum is actually probably the guy who's going to get bumped to third on his depth chart. Just because he started last year, you can't just assume and can't hand him the job. I think he'll be competing with Lewisine. This should probably be one of the best camp battles this year, and let the best man win. But Cam Bynum, a guy I was super high on, and I really, really fell out for me last year. Curious what you guys think. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about Cam Bynum. I think a lot of people kind of feel the same way about him. But let me know as well. And the last one we're going to talk about is our punt returner, Jalen Rager. I mean, we give up I think it was like a 5th round. It's going to be a 5th round pick. I think it was a conditional 4th to get this guy, former 1st round pick, and really as the punt returner and a gadget receiver. So you got to work him into the offense. What jet sweeps, make him go long, throw him a bomb every now and then. We didn't do a whole hell of a lot of that, but he averaged 6.4 yards per punt return, which was like 45th in the league. It was way, way, way down there. You get along at 25. So, I mean, just not a lot of cases where Rager was flipping field position for the Vikings. Just, I don't know if it was the blocking, if him just not seeing the lanes, whatever it was, he just didn't add anything. You got Jalen Naylor on the team who can already do it. A lot of these corners who are going to be high draft picks are also punt returners. So make this an open competition. There's no way in hell Jalen Rager should be handed this job next year. He just didn't do much with it last year when the Vikings actually gave up draft capital to get him. So make him compete. If he wins it, great. Absolutely, that's fine. I'm not even sure he's going to make the team, but definitely should not be given that punt returner job again. So those are my 4 positions that cannot be handed to the same starter in 2023 for the Vikings. Let me know if you got any others. If you agree, if you disagree. Don't forget, #LiftBridge, #badass, and # keep your skull in your hole.